Hi, I want to read you something real quick, okay? Just give me like 30 seconds of your time. With the creation of a mythic past, fascist politics creates a link between nostalgia and the realization of fascist ideals. In all fascist mythic pasts, an extreme version of the patriarchal family reigns supreme, even just a few generations ago. Further back in time, the mythic past was a time of glory for the nation, with wars of conquest led by patriotic generals, its armies filled with its countrymen, able-bodied, loyal warriors whose wives were at home raising the next generation. In the present, these myths become the basis of the nation's identity under fascist politics. In the rhetoric of extreme nationalists, such a glorious past has been lost by the humiliation brought by globalism, liberal cosmopolitanism, and respect for, quote, universal values like equality. These values are supposed to have made the nation weak in the face of real and threatening challenges to the nation's existence. These myths are generally based on fantasies of a non-existent past, which survives in the traditions of small towns and countrysides that remain relatively unpolluted by the liberal decadence of the cities. This uniformity, linguistic, religious, geographical, or ethnic, can be perfectly ordinary in some nationalist movements, but fascist myths distinguish themselves with the creation of a glorious national history in which the members of a chosen nation ruled over others, the result of conquests and civilization-building achievements. For example, in the fascist imagination, the past invariably involves traditional patriarchal gender roles. The fascist mythic past has a particular structure which supports its authoritarian hierarchical ideology. Does that sound familiar to you? Does that seem like maybe it's reflective of what we're experiencing right now? This is a book that was written before Trump's second term. This is by a guy named Jason Stanley. He is an expert, a historian on fascist movements. He was a professor at Yale. What we need to understand is what we're seeing is not something new. This is a playbook that's been used by fascist and authoritarian regimes over and over and over again for hundreds of years. This isn't an experiment. It is a tested and tried theory of fascism that has worked. And they're doing the same thing here. Okay, and I'll also tell you that Jason Stanley, the guy who wrote this book, the expert on fascism, he left the country this year with his family, who moved to Canada. Why? Because he didn't like what he was seeing going on here. Okay? Have a good one. Bye.